Hi class. Well, today we're having a snow day, but we're going to keep on working on our project. We only have a certain number of days before March break, so we really have to keep moving and completing the little parts so that we don't extend it beyond March break. You're here on the web page, and all the materials today will be found here or at the bottom attached. So the first thing we would have done in class today is to do the do now, which you can kind of see down here. Let me show you. If you want to, you can download that and open it. Pause the video, but I'm going to go over to a window and actually look at the do now. The do right now. Okay, here is the do now. This is a background section for a paper that I've written to do the exact same project. My project's going to be a little bit different. I'm not going to be doing solar panels, but it is related to energy efficiency. And this is really your goal between now and next week, is to write 2 paragraphs of background information and 1 paragraph of hypothesis and rationale. So the way that the do now is set up is to read along, and then on the right hand side explain what the author is doing. What is the purpose? What is the topic that is being discussed? So if you look at this very first section right here, I'll give you a second to read it, or you can pause the video. You can see that basically what I'm doing is I'm explaining in a general way why energy use is an environmental problem. And I've got 2 sources. I've got an Environmental Literacy Council and a Brennan and Withgut 2005. So that's all I'm doing. It's just introducing some basic facts. In the second portion, you can see I've used Udelson, and if you want to complete this do now on your own, if you download the page, or just even thinking, what am I doing in this section? Continuing on to the second paragraph, what am I doing at the very top of the paragraph? You can kind of see in this case I'm really talking about compact fluorescent bulbs, which is going to be the topic of my paper, and I continue on with that. One thing you may notice is that I haven't even mentioned my specific project. I haven't talked about my experiment. I've just given background information. Really, the background part is for the reader. It's just to get them up to speed on the topic, not on the experiment. If you scroll down to the hypothesis and rationale section, this is where I do talk about my project. I say this study investigated the effect of CFLs on household materials by measuring the amount of fading they cause on colored paper compared to incandescents. Notice I didn't say I or me or my, it's just this study, and it's also in past tense because after about a week the experiment's going to be completely done and you'll use past tense anyways. So that's a good idea. The difference here between the hypothesis, which is a general statement, the hypothesis was that CFLs and incandescent bulbs would both fade paper. That's the hypothesis. The more specific prediction is exactly how they would affect it, and in this case, more fading. Now, the rationale is the reason why I think that. So going back to my sources, they give me some information that makes me think that CFLs will produce more fading than incandescent. So it's just not me guessing, it's me actually using the sources to come up with an informed hypothesis and a specific prediction. Now back over here in the directions, you can see once you've done that, review the handout. How exactly are you going to write the background hypothesis and rationale? That is at the bottom. It is its own PDF, Background Hype Rationale 2014. You can either open it here or download a version. So I'm going to open it. Here's the directions. This is how I wrote mine. In the first paragraph, I followed these directions, introducing the topic, citing my sources, talking about the topic, but not about the experiment or the methods. This is just background information. And then the second paragraph, I continued with the same. So thinking about your project, how would you do that? Would you talk about climate change and the need for energy and then solar energy? Would you talk about solar energy and its uses and then talk about innovations or how things affect solar panel generation? It's really up to you how you look at your sources, those ones you've taken notes on, and divide up the information. There's a million ways to do this the correct way. The wrong way is to start talking about your specific project and to use a lot of me's and my's or just put information without citing your sources. Those are the wrong ways to do it. what I would like you to do for this assignment for tomorrow is to at least begin writing some of this. If you can get one paragraph done, great. If you can get two, amazing, and you'll really be on track. Then I'd like you to look and do your hypothesis and rationale. And this is the part that really may take a lot more thinking. How did you study this topic? So say this study investigated solar panels by blank, blank, blank. State your hypothesis, the general statement of will something affect something. And then the specific prediction is how it will affect it. And then give your reason. And hopefully you have a source. Now this might be a place where you get a little stuck. None of my sources are telling me how to guess which way the prediction should go. It's okay right now to leave that blank. That's what we'll work on. If you can, for homework for tomorrow, take a stab at writing this. If you scroll down, you'll see, again, here's my example, and I've also included my APA literature cited. So going and taking your sources over to BibMe, putting them in APA, and then cut and pasting them back. If you came in tomorrow with all 3 paragraphs, the headers, and the literature cited, with using past tense and remember the third person, you'd be doing above and beyond work. A good goal, I think, would be 1 paragraph for the background, hypothesis and rationale, and it's just always good and going to save you time later if you can start building your literature cited now. Back over here on the page, if you really think, oh, this writing is just overwhelming, I don't think I can get it done, there's a good handout here called the planning sheet, background, hypothesis, and rationale. Here you can find a planning sheet. It's a great way to just write down the topics and the ideas that you're going to present, but not writing full sentences yet. You can use this version, or sometimes people like this little block version. And this is just a way to get your head wrapped around which topics you're going to talk about and when, before actually beginning to write the paragraphs. Finally, how are you going to do this? The important thing is we're going to start the entire paper in Google Docs. So this step here, number 4, create a new doc, your name, solar paper, so like Jen's solar paper. It's good to put a working title at the very top, so what is the effect of blank on solar energy, or even a statement, the effect of blank on solar energy, and then put the section headers. Don't forget, this is a paper that's going to have different sections. So Roman numeral 1, background information, Roman numeral 2, hypothesis and rationale, and then the literature cited at the very bottom. And just start typing away. If you have any questions, feel free to email me, but remember, a really good goal is to write 1 paragraph of background, maybe 2, but 1 is all I'm really looking for, and make an attempt at that hypothesis and rationale paragraph. And if we do that by tomorrow, we should be in pretty good shape. Another goal for tomorrow is I'm going to have your plans looked at, and maybe we can actually begin collecting some data. So enjoy your day, make sure you stay warm, play some video games, take a nap, cook something really good to eat, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.